My name is Philipp Medicus. My day job is designing wings for NOVA. This includes the last year's winner's wing of the Red Bull Dolomitenmann, the Red Bull X-Alps and the Acrobatic Paragliding World Cup. I've been following parawinging and foiling for quite a while, but we've never really considered building a parawing ourselves because we lack the capability to properly test them. When PPC approached us last year, this changed because they do have all the expertise in parawinging, in foiling, in developing and testing different foiling products, and we do have the expertise in simulations, in aerodynamic optimizations, and that's how the collaboration and the development of the Orbit started. Like in paragliding, single skin designs have the advantage of creating lots of lift with little surface already, while double skin designs offer much more efficiency. In paragliding, we solve this low-end problem by applying brakes, which is similar to flaps on almost every airplane. And from the very beginning of the development, we were kind of obsessed of solving this low-end problem by implementing the brakes in a proper way and in an efficient and ergonomic way. And this is why the Orbit is a double skin design. Before drawing the first prototype, I spent a lot of time watching videos, talking to the PPC people, and listening to some podcasts to understand parawinging as well as possible. Then I ran through probably hundreds of simulations to find out what airfoil works, what curvature works, how short we can get with the lines without sacrificing lots of performance. To understand the limits of all those parameters. I would say that the parawing is to 80% maybe a paraglider, and the other 20%, some of those 20% are obvious. The parawing isn't attached to a riser, but it's attached to a bar. The trailing edge is not close to allow the water to drain. And there are some less obvious differences, which I only realized during simulations, and some of them I only realized after the first prototype. The first prototype arrived in New Zealand late in last year. It was very much a prototype. The bar was literally a wooden broomstick. We had to do lots of trim changes, applying lots of knots. The wing was really a mess, but it was good enough for the PPC riders to understand the potential of the wing, and they right away saw the huge upwind potential, and they also saw the potential of the brake system, the PAL, power assisted line. The idea behind what eventually became the PAL system, the power assist line system, was there from day one. For me as a paraglider pilot and paraglider designer, it was obvious that we should have a way of temporarily increasing the lift, like we do on the brake on the paraglider, on the high performance parawing as well. We ended finding a very nice solution together with PPC and their bar designer. And the advantage for the parawing of being able to increase the lift is it solves basically all the disadvantages double skins had before. Before you had to go for a significantly bigger double skin size than a single skin to cover a certain low end. And now with the Orbit and the PAL system, you can get on foil with more or less the same size, but on the top end side, the wind range is way, way, way bigger. It can handle much higher wind speeds. It's much more efficient. And we even managed to keep the packing volume really low and the lines really short. The line length of the Orbit is shorter than of most comparable single skins, and the weight and the packing volume is probably smaller than most single skin wings as well. Once we knew that the PAL system worked in principle, we were going for designing a clean bar. We had lots of ideas which were simply too complicated because they included pulleys, levers, whatever. And finally, PPC came up with a very, very clean bar, which doesn't add any complexity, which you definitely do not want to have when trying to quickly deploy, quickly stash the parawing. And it was very important for us to have this stashability at least as good as common single skin wings. And the bar is an important part of that, besides the line length and the packing volumes. And we ticked all those boxes. Upwind performance is a matter of efficiency. You need a wing which at rather low angle of attack creates as little drag as possible. And that's where the double skin design is without competition. You can't create this level of upwind performance or VMG on a single skin design. And accordingly, that's the real strong point of the Orbit. You can ride much higher upwind angles. The VMG is much higher, and maybe just as important, the load on the bar is much less, so it's way less fatiguing to ride the Orbit upwind than single skin designs. PPC was from the very first day of development pushing for making the wing as easily stashable as possible. They were pushing for having the shortest possible lines without sacrificing too much performance. They were pushing for the wing being as light as possible, the line setup being as ergonomic and easy to handle as possible, because they come from a wave riding background and their use case in mind was easy deployment, easy stashing, easy redeployment. And the Orbit in the end does all those things very well. And we didn't want to make a double skin design for the purpose of performance only. We obviously wanted to have the performance, and we do have this performance, but we didn't sacrifice any of the stashing aspects I mentioned before. The Orbit combines three aspects of parawinging which forced riders to compromise in the past. That's the low-end grunt, the low-end performance, the upwind and high-end performance, which those two aspects in the end define the wind range, which used to be quite small for parawings. And the third aspect is the stashability. And the Orbit combines all those three crucial aspects in a way which hasn't been done in parawinging. We were really happy with the cooperation with PPC. It's always nice to work together with enthusiastic people, and they are not paragliders, but it's a wind sport, and so the relation is and the connection is immediately there. And yeah, we both had the same goal, which was creating the best possible product for parawinding. And I think we very nicely covered all the aspects which are necessary for creating this product. And today with quick postal service and messengers, it's not really an issue that we are located in Innsbruck, Austria, and they are located literally on the other side of the world in Auckland.